Dr. Elmo is a country music singer, veterinarian and competitive runner, best known for his Christmas novelty song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And first of all, I have to say that I love the fact that you are actually a proper doctor, because there's so many musical artists that put doctor in front of their name just for fun, but you've got the proper qualification there.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, there was a comedian named Dr. Gonzo that used to perform around here all the time. But he wasn't really a doctor. He said he just called himself that to piss his dad off because his dad wanted him to be a doctor.
Yeah, that's quite incredible then. Dr. Gonzo and Dr. Elmo, you've both got Muppet names.
Right.
So, of course, you're best known for the song Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. How did that song originally come about? How were you approached to sing it?
I was playing in a bluegrass band. I was a banjo player. And I was playing up at Lake Tahoe. And when I got there was a big snowstorm, and the band that was supposed to be leaving wasn't able to leave. So I did my show that night, and I'm not a very good singer, so I did a lot of funny songs. You know, if you do funny songs, it doesn't matter if you can sing or not. So after I did my show, a guy came up and he said, I'm with the other band, and I have this song that I wrote, and I think it would be perfect for you, but, we would never sing it in our band. And so I gave him my guitar, and he sat down and started singing Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And I thought it was a pretty brilliant song. Not that I thought it would ever be a long time hit, but I thought it gets everyone's attention.
Yeah, definitely.
So I recorded it. I was still working as a veterinarian too. I recorded that song and gave it to some of my friends. I did 500 vinyl 45s. Gave it to a few friends, maybe gave 6 or 8 out, just for kind of a Christmas gag gift. And one of my friends took it to a radio station. I was driving to work a few days later, and this disc jockey in San Francisco said, we have a song that we played earlier. A lot of people called in and said they hated it. And some other people said that they wanted to hear it again. And so if we get 50 requests, we'll play it.
Wow.
And so they played it, and I was totally stunned because I never thought about giving it to a radio station.
Yeah, and I guess you recorded it yourself then. You didn't really get any labels or proper professional people involved then. It was a personal experience.
Yeah, it was, you could call it maybe a vanity recording. I just wanted to record it,
Yeah. And how long did it take then for the song to actually become popular and chart a bit?
Well, it played in 1979. That disc jockey played it a few times, and a lot of people called in and said they didn't want to hear that song again where Grandma gets killed at Christmas. And so that was that. It was over. I thought, well, that was kind of fun while it lasted. The following year, 1980, they started playing it again. And I don't know if people really liked it, but there was kind of a buzz. Everyone would say, have you heard that Christmas song where Grandma gets killed at Christmas? And of course, media, if it bleeds, it leads. So everyone started calling in to see if they could hear it. And of course, there was only one disc jockey that had it. I didn't send it out to radio stations or anything. So he started playing it. And other radio stations started taping it on cassette tapes from his show. And then they started playing it, and more people started. And then in 1980, it was over again. 1981, same thing happened, but started spreading out across the country. And it still wasn't a hit, and we weren't selling any. Maybe 1982, I only pressed 500 copies.
Wow.
And I still had them all in my garage by 1982, except for the few that this disc jockey had. So I went to Tower Records and I said, could I sell some of my records here at Tower Records? It was a big record chain, as you may know. And they said, well, okay, we'll take 10. And so, at 50 cents a piece, and they cost me $1, but I wanted to get some notoriety. Anyway, I gave it to them, and I went home. This was when it was being played some. So I went home and there was a message on my machine that said, "This is Tower Records. Could you bring in 25 more of those vinyl 45s?"
Wow.
And then there was a second message on it that said, "This is Tower Records again. Could you bring in 500 more of those?" And so I sold all of them to Tower Records within a couple of days, and then I didn't have any more. So I thought, well, that's the end of that too. But in 1983, everyone started talking about it. And I sold my veterinary hospital and used a lot of the proceeds to make a video. Uh-huh. And we filmed the video, and we had a big crew. It was just like a little 3.5-minute movie of Grandma got run over by a reindeer. And I sent it to MTV, didn't hear anything. And I thought I wasted a lot of money there.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, MTV called me up and they said, "We got this video and we think it's great."
Wow.
And they put it on regular rotation. And some mom and pop record distributor in Nashville, Tennessee, they said, "We'll make a deal with you. We'll press 250,000. And they did.
Wow.
And you have to know that if just these two people, if they didn't sell them, they would have lost a lot of money. But they sold them all right away.
Yeah.
Because people have been hearing it for a few years. And the following year, and that year, because they sold 250,000 in a couple of weeks, and it was playing on MTV. In 1983, Billboard had a Christmas chart, and Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer replaced White Christmas at #1.
Wow, that's incredible. And of course, in the music video, you played Grandpa and Grandma as well, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did, yes. Couldn't afford another actor.
Yeah. Of course, you mentioned that you originally did 500 copies and they asked for thousands, but of course it's now sold, 12 million or something like that?
12 million in vinyl, cassette, and CD. It's been quite good online too. We haven't been counting the ones online.
Oh yeah.
But probably another few million there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I guess the thing is, these days you don't even have to buy a song anymore to listen to it.
No, you don't. I know.
You made a rap version of it as well, didn't you? At some point.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a little line and it goes, "She went back to crack a brew, which I told her not to do. She forgot to pop her meds. Now we got to phone the feds. Hey, hey, grandma girl, you're giving us a scare. Hey, hey, grandma girl, hope you got clean underwear." Ow!
Wow, that was quite a performance there. And there was actually an animated film of the same name, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and you did a couple of voices in that, didn't you?
I did. I was the narrator and also did the voice of Grandpa.
Ah.
Yeah, after it seemed like the song was going to stick, it started becoming a hit around 1983 and 84. And around it wasn't until almost 15 years later that people thought, would be willing to take a chance on making a movie.
Yeah.
So I kind of co-produced the movie with a CBS executive named Fred Rappaport.
Ooh. And not only have you done this one Christmas song, but you've done many other Christmas songs as well over the years, and Christmas albums even.
Well, it was something that I was hoping for a different kind of career. But at one point, if we could write maybe 8 or 10 Christmas songs and then put Grandma on the album, it would sell pretty well. And then now we have some other Christmas songs. None of them as popular as the Grandma song, but we have a few other Christmas songs that have become minor hits. One called Grandma's Killer Fruitcake, and Grandpa's Gonna Sue the Pants Off Santa, and a few of those. And so, and then later on, I made a bluegrass banjo album, or like a bluegrass Christmas album, where I played the banjo on it a lot. We did some Christmas songs as banjo instrumentals.
Wow. Do you ever get annoyed that you're only really known for the one song and not those others?
Not at all. I'm so happy to have that one. Here's the reason why. I didn't start playing music until I was 35 years old. Yeah. And I always felt like I was not a good musician because, you start learning late in life like that. There's a lot of people who are, and I don't think that I had much talent either, but I worked hard at it. And I became a competent banjo player. Ooh. And so I always thought that because I was not steeped in the music business and I wasn't like a talented musician, that I was lucky to have anything at all.
Yeah. And I guess you must make all your money from royalties at the one time of year.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I have a Halloween song that's been quite popular. Even though, other than Monster Mash, I have a song called Haunted Hoedown that never expected it to be, but just wanted to make a Halloween album. I was on the Sony label, and they asked me to make a Halloween album. And so we have a song called Haunted Hoedown that brings in quite a bit of royalties these days.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose making most of it at Christmas is better than a lot of people because you're never going to be short of money when you have to buy presents.
That's right.
Yeah. So what are some of your favourite other Christmas songs that perhaps you haven't recorded but just have heard over the years and thought, ooh, that's good?
Oh, my favorite Christmas song is Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. I love that Christmas song. And whenever I'm sitting around doing nothing, I play it all the time, on the guitar, just because it's such a beautiful song. Yeah, that and a few other Christmas songs. I play with a group called Holiday Express every Christmas. Yeah. They do like 50 shows. We play every day and sometimes twice a day. Yeah. And they play a lot of beautiful Christmas songs. And actually, I enjoy playing those songs maybe more than Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Wow.
Although I love the adulation when I play Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. It's great to have the recognition.
Yeah. And I suppose it's quite interesting in America because most of the Christmas classics that you enjoy over there are the ones like Nat King Cole and Bing Crosby from way back. Whereas for us, we're still very much aware of those songs and enjoy them and play them. But we still have ones from the 70s and 80s. So I guess it's quite a big achievement for you to break through in that era with your own Christmas song.
It was really, I'm still amazed because there's very few songs that do break through. Yeah. And all those songs are still the mainstay for radio and everything else when you hear it. And actually to have, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer sandwiched in between White Christmas and Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire is pretty mind-blowing for me.
Yeah, that's quite an incredible mixture that they have.
Right.
Yeah. And you're a keen runner as well, aren't you?
I am, yes. My wife, she was my girlfriend then. Yeah. She was a runner, and she kind of coaxed me into running. Mm-hmm. And she used to run maybe 8 or 10 miles on a run. And I'd run out a half a mile with her and then run back for the half a mile. Yeah. But then as time went on, I started running a lot. And I was always kind of a mid to backpack runner. But that was in my 60s. But when I was 75, I won a national championship in cross country. Wow. And that really inspired me more to start running. And so now I go to a lot of national and some world championships. And I like to run in them with mixed results. I did win a gold medal in Brazil at the world championships there. Wow. So it's more like I was never a great runner, but I sort of outlived my competition.
Yeah. And how much competition is there in your age category?
A couple of years ago, I went to National Senior Games. It was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah. And there may have been, 30, maybe 30 80-year-olds.
Wow.
I'm 85 now. Yeah. But when I went to Malaga, Spain for the World Championships, there was like 60, 80-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah, and most of them were faster than me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a shame. But you do hold some records, don't you?
I do, yeah. I have a couple of years ago, I had somebody can always break your record, but I had the fastest mile in the world for an 80-year-old. And that lasted for about maybe 9 or 10 months. And then somebody broke that record. But I still hold some records like for the mile.
Yeah.
When I was 83, I ran a 740 mile. And it's not a world record, but it's a record for that course.
Yeah. Do you think you'd be able to outrun a reindeer if it tried to run you over?
I doubt it.
What's it like performing live with a song like that? Because I guess a lot of people know it and it's a funny song, so the crowd must love it.
They do love it, and they love to. And, you know, sometimes like in these big stadiums, how people know the artist's lyrics and everything. Well, in this one, there's a few things in Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer that the crowd is usually onto, where they don't actually, I mean, they can sing along with me on the chorus, but when we get to the part where we say, should we open up her gifts or send them back? Usually it's great to hear maybe 1,000 people holler, send them back!
That's always good. And do you have any particular favorites of all the shows that you've done?
Right now, my favorite shows are with this Holiday Express is the group that I play with now, mostly on the East Coast, around New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and so we play at soup kitchens and homeless shelters, and this organization. They have a bunch of trucks. They show up at this venue and they'll have a wonderful warm meal. And a lot of people that are on the street come in off the street. And so it might be like a venue that holds anywhere from 500 to 800 people. And they all come in out of, 20-degree weather. Wow. And they have a warm meal. And they give them all a gift, and we do a 2-hour show. Mostly Christmas songs, but we'll play anything that they want to hear. And so that's my favorite show to play, and we play maybe 50 of those shows, and it's the most emotional thing that you could imagine to play with a group like that, because everyone is so downtrodden, but so happy to have that time.
Yeah, that sounds like a great experience to have. And what have you been up to more recently? Because I guess the last nearly 2 years might have been a bit different, but before that, have you been having some other projects to work on?
I usually play with a band once a week where I live during the year. And then well, just Christmas. I just learned how to start. I just started baking sourdough bread recently. I don't know if that's much of a project of any interest to anyone. But and just that and running. That's pretty much all I have the energy to do.
And you seem like a very happy guy. You're very relaxed and easygoing. There's no tension there. What's your secret?
When you get a little bit older, you care less about what people think about you. You're not trying to impress girls anymore.
No.
Like it's too late for that.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of the edge off.
Okay. So the advice is just to wait and then you'll be happy.
That's right. Yeah. If you can stay healthy and you will be happy.
Yeah. So what are you up to this Christmas? Anything fun?
Yes.
Ooh.
We're going to play at some shows in New York. We play at the Cutting Room. It's a popular club in New York City. And then I'll play with Holiday Express. We'll probably play 50 shows with them. And also play with a band called Holodelic. That's a soul band that plays a lot of original Christmas songs. Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to all of that.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds very exciting. Well, where are we able to keep up to date with you everywhere and listen to all your songs from across the decades?
Well, all of my songs are on iTunes and I'm also on Facebook. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you, Toby. It's great to be on Shout Radio.